So if you've been following the video up to this point, you now have a character that has a rig, and the rig is set to have a simple animation with the arms moving. So we can see the arms going up and down. Now let's turn this one into a jumping animation. So one quick hot tip for everybody would be the hotkey Shift and the back arrow. If you hit Shift and the left arrow, you will reset the timeline to the start position. So what we want to do is first we're going to add what's called an IK bone. And it's a special kind of bone that's going to keep one part of the body in a certain spot and just tell all the other bones to bend in a way that must happen for that IK bone to stay where it is or to move where it's going. You'll see what it means more clearly in a second. So let's go into edit mode. If you notice, the pose is now gone. This is actually the natural state for Bob. And we want to click down here on the heel of the foot. And we'll press E to extrude back. And we'll do the same thing on the other heel of the foot. We'll press E and extrude back. If you don't like how they're both extruding like this, you can press both at the same time. Press E to extrude and extrude on the X-axis. That's also possible, although not required. What is required, though, is that this bone is not allowed to actually be physically attached to this bone, which right now it is. So, because if I grab it, see how it's pulling the other bones away. So that's no good. I need to press the Y key, and now if I grab it, it does not do that. And I pressed Escape, ESC, to cancel that grab. So again, this bone, the same thing, press Y, and then you can press G just to check, and it is a separate bone. Press Escape. It is also important that it is in the same spot, though, that it started. Okay. Now, to make these bones special, we need to go into pose mode. So go back to pose mode, click on the bone, the new bone, hold Shift, and click on the foot bone here. What you need to do then is press Shift I, and it says Add IK bone to active bone. Click, and you'll see the whole foot moved back. To fix that, click on the foot, go down here to Bone Constraints, and change this Use Tail to unclick. Now the foot is back to normal. So we'll do the same thing with the next foot. Click on this bone, hold Shift, click on the new bone, hold Shift, press I, and change the Use Tail off. So now we have bones like this. So far, nothing seems to have changed, but now if we click on this new bone that we created while we are in pose mode, and we press G to lift the bone up, you'll see that all the other bones are moving around, although maybe not naturally. They are moving according to where the foot is going. If we do a different example, if I do that with the arm up here, which does not have an IK bone, and I try to grab it, this is what happens. Nothing else is moving, just that piece. So that's something special that'll make the leg movements much, much easier and much more natural, is by adding these IK bones here. Okay, the next step too is, if you notice, as we press G and Z, the leg is going sideways. That does not look very comfortable. So, and I did Command Z to undo that. So I'm going to go back to edit mode for a second. I'm going to choose the knees, both knees. I'll press G, X, and pull that forward just a little bit. That way, the natural position when I lift it up in pose mode, I'll go back to pose mode, the natural position will be a little bit more forward. Okay. Now to turn this animation into a jumping character animation. We'll do that in the next video.